Minasan, konnichiwa. Nico here from the Road to Japan podcast and Working Title on YouTube. And this is, let's see, where are we at this point? This is about a week, almost a week and a half after the second treatment was done to my wrist and lower forearm. And I'm basically just here to kind of show you how it's coming along here. Now, what's interesting is that you can see that there is a lot of fading going on at this point. At least, you know, on the surfaces that are not scabbing at this point. So, one thing I got to tell you is that when I had the treatment done and I took the bandages off, basically, I'd say, I don't know, 85-90% of the tattooed area just ended up being like this kind of gigantic bunch of blisters, basically. It was really kind of gross looking. Thankfully, I have kind of a strong stomach, so it didn't really bother me that much, but it definitely was not pleasant to look at, just in general. But you know, it's been like I said, over a week now since I had the treatment done, and well, I mean, what's really interesting to note here is that the areas that are not covered with scabbing is definitely starting to show significant fading, and it's even more so on the two transformer tattoos. I'm going to stand up here a little bit so you can see it a little better. But yeah, definitely here on the Autobot, it's definitely showing a lot of good signs of fading. And mind you, there's still more fading that will happen in the coming weeks, you know, prior to getting the next treatment done. Now, this one definitely was kind of a mess when you know, when I took the bandages off originally. Actually, the Autobot was too. The Autobot's actually come along very nicely in terms of what it looked like. It was probably the worst out of all of them in terms of just being completely covered in blisters. I mean, you could not even recognize what they were at first glance. So I mean, the scabbing's doing its thing, helping out with the healing process, but you can see here, like, there's not as much definition in terms of, you know, what's going on with the tattoo itself, which is a good sign. That means it's, that, you know, the laser's doing its job and the tattoo is definitely fading away. So, you know, with all that being said, I do want to note that these two on top here, these were touched up. They had at least one, maybe even two touch-ups before, you know, before I started the removal process. Granted, those touch-ups, the last one was probably done, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago. I mean, it was a long time ago that these touch-ups were done, but these ones probably will take more time to remove completely. But as mentioned, when I had the second treatment done, the technician said that these were progressing a lot faster than others that she's worked on. So that's good news. That could mean that maybe I'd only need half the treatments that I was originally quoted, which she originally said 8 to 10. So I'm hoping maybe I can knock this down to 5, maybe even 4 treatments, which would really help me out in terms of the wallet. So you know, there's not really much else to say at this point. It's just that they're healing along nicely. This is the wrist that I wear my watch on, and I wear my watch and have been since probably about a week after the treatment got done. Normally I was not bothering with bandages, but just because, like, of all the blisters on these, I wanted to make sure that they were clean and kept free of infection, so I did wear bandages for probably 3 or 4 days after the treatment was done. And I need to mention that there's when they do the treatments, they are only putting on this. I think it's an antibiotic. I might be wrong on that, but it's called polysporin. It's very similar to Neosporin, and I think the difference, I don't know this for a fact, but I think the difference is that Neosporin is meant for like cuts and abrasions and things like that, where polysporin might be meant for burns. And I mean, this definitely acted like a burn. It acted like a second-degree burn for the most part. But that's just an assumption. I don't know that for sure. I have not done any kind of research on what polysporin is or what it does. So I could be wrong on that. And I know nobody's asked this, but when it comes to being in the shower with these and cleaning them, I simply use the same thing I used when I originally got the tattoos and was recommended to use, which is just basic Dial hand soap. It's just that gold soap that you see. You can pretty much get it anywhere. And I bought a little normal bottle, with a little nozzle, and then I bought also a big jug of it to refill that bottle, because I figure I'm going to be going through a lot of it just as I'm working on these tattoos. And this is these are the dragons as well. I guess I should show you these as well. And they're progressing. Mind you, this is only their first treatment, and this is about 5, I think, going on 6 weeks after their first treatment. You can, if you're able to see it, you can see kind of some spotting, like light grayish spots kind of going on in the black, and you can see possibly the lining, the outline is kind of getting a little spotted, kind of looking like dash marks or whatever you want to call it. So I mean, that's to be expected. That's pretty much how the wrist and forearm acted after their first treatment as well. So I'm really hoping that maybe the first treatment is kind of like a primer, and it's just kind of getting everything in that, I don't know, in that biological mindset or something to basically prepare it for future treatments, and that after I get the second treatment for these done, then they'll make a lot more progress. There's not really a whole lot else to add, but yeah, I just wanted to mention just using polysporin and the Dial Gold soap. That's pretty much it. There's no special creams or anything like that. I know when I got the tattoos to preserve them, well, basically to keep them from blotching, I would use also some hand lotion, and it was like the high moisture hand lotion, because the more moisture you kept on them during healing, the better the tattoo would look in the end. I'm not doing that obviously with this because the goal is for removal, so I figure the less that I'm doing in that regard to take care of them, the better. My goal is basically just to make sure that these don't get infected and cause more problems. So, everything's kind of working nicely. Like I said, I hope that this will end up being fewer treatments than I was originally quoted, because that will save me a ton of money. But that's pretty much going to do it. I'll be back in probably another week or two to show progress. More than likely, I'll wait until after a lot of the scabbing is done. I did want to wait though until the blisters had kind of done their thing, because that seriously was kind of gross. But yeah, I'll be back in probably a week or two with another tattoo update, and then like I said, the plan is to do a show pretty soon here. So keep an eye or ear out for that as well, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the whole tattoo thing. But for now, I'll catch you guys next time. Minasan, ganbatte.